Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on Molly Thomas. Uh, I am finally back to making tutorials once again. I haven't made a regular tutorial, well, it's been almost a year now. To be honest, I haven't been, modding Hoi4 a lot lately. A lot of things have been happening. I've been busy a lot, like, stuff in my real life or whatever. But, now I'm going back to modding more, and I'm also going to be talking about my mod boards, which I'll post it later. But anyways, we're gonna get to this tutorial. In this video, I'm actually going to be making GFX assets. I haven't. Last time I did a video on this was, I believe, around 2 years ago, 2020. And when I made that video, I was using, actually, it might have been, actually, now that I think about it, it might have been almost 3 years ago now. But anyways, I made it on GIMP. So, and on GIMP there's, I'm using Photoshop for this tutorial, obviously, and there's not, like, the same, functions and everything as GIMP. So, but I actually, this isn't like a bot Photoshop thing. This is just pirated. So if you want to follow this, it's pretty easy to pirate it. You could probably find some tutorial somewhere, but it shouldn't take that long. Once you pirate, you can do everything I'm doing here. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna be making 5 assets today. The statue of Prince Joseph Poniatowski first. I use a Marshal of the French Empire during the Napoleonic Wars. This is a party logo for OZN, which was a right wing political organization that basically supported Edvardovich Miguita as like the successor to Pilsudski or whatever. You might recognize it. If I think the OZN might be in the new DLC, not sure. But anyways, next is we're gonna do a flag. So I just picked the flag of Prussia for this. Um, we're also gonna be doing an asset for Huey Long. Pretty sure all of you know who he is. U.S. Senator and Governor from Louisiana, of course. And then doing a portrait. This portrait was actually made by Alfred Rosenberg on Discord, if you know him. I think he's a part of a lot of mods, including mine, which I'll be talking about my mod at the end of this video, or I'll probably mention it during parts of it. But anyways, let's get started with the first asset. First, we're gonna crop this. I mean, obviously not gonna take the whole base for this statue. Probably might only take just like the statue itself. Um, yeah, that's fine. Okay. This tool basically just selects things quickly, so you don't have, because if I was doing, the lasso, I'd have to go around all the edges. Where if this just makes it more convenient. Not always accurate. But much more efficient than using the lasso tool oftentimes. So usually I use a combination of both. Usually use lasso for, like, if I like, see here, use a lasso here just to refine it, I guess. Yeah. This is Prince Joseph Poniatowski, who was the nephew of the last king of Poland, Stanislav August Poniatowski. Um, He was only a marshal for about a week, actually less than a week, and he died at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813. Um, if you want to learn more about that, by the way, there's a channel called Epic History TV. They make pretty good videos, so you could watch a video about that after this video, maybe. Anyways, he's probably, I've mentioned him in previous videos. He's probably the most well-known Polish figure from the Napoleonic era, except for maybe Jean Dąbrowski, who he's known because he's mentioned in the Polish national anthem, so he's probably a little more, like, well-known in Poland itself. But Joseph Poniatowski is probably one of the more significant figures during the Napoleonic Wars. Uh, Only foreign-born persons ever become a Marshal of France, actually. Um, Fun fact there. But this this statue is in front of the oh, what the hell? That's weird. This statue is actually in front of uh the Polish presidential palace in Warsaw. Um, I've actually been there when I was little. Been there before. But yeah, personal favorite of mine is Pontowski. You know, pretty decent general too. Um, Commanded, I believe, I think Polish Fifth Corps in Russia. I think it was around 40,000 men he commanded. Basically, commanded like half of the number of Polish people who went to Russia in 1812 during Napoleon's invasion. All right, there we go. So, yeah, basically that part is simple. Just that's why I was just talking there about because this is just the easy part. Now we actually gotta get into actually editing the actually wait a second. Oh, okay, I did. But this is the part this is the most important part. I actually have another asset. This is probably not gonna be as good as the other one, but basically for all these assets on Photoshop, you basically want to be following the same sort of guidelines or whatever. Sort of depends a little on whatever you're using to make an asset. Um, yeah, usually you just want to start with Hour Glow. That drop shot, I sometimes add it. It's not always necessary. Um, Here you could always play around. Like usually I do this like on like with black and white portrait assets, which we're gonna get to later. I usually play around with the contrast a little. We could do that here, make it stand out a little more. Could also sometimes I use this shadow highlights. Sometimes it makes it look better, but not all the time. See, this is like actually kind of weird. Like flattens the colors a little, I guess. Another important thing is bevel and emboss. Basically, just adds like highlights and shadows to it. Makes it look better. Like if you look at any other asset, like actually I could open the base game asset. Should have one here somewhere. Like let's say like this brain one. This is from Vanilla. Um, there's like you can see there's like a highlight here. They probably use a sort of gradient here, which we can also use on here. But they also use a bevel and emboss on that. So just usually with gradient overlay. Another thing I don't want to like go too quickly here, but um, basically all I'm doing here, you gotta go to this. You gotta make sure you're selected on the right layer. Go to FX and click on the effect here. And there's different layering modes. I usually use linear light for like pretty much every time. Like 99% of the time. Just like how I just like how it looks better, I guess. Usually I keep it pretty low because if you put it like this high, like it just looks ridiculous. So usually keep it around 3 to 7% or so. I'll put it at 4%. You see here, makes it look better. Um, Another effect, inner glow. Probably not gonna be this useful on this aspect, but it's useful on certain ones. Um, like especially once you get to like this kind of logo. Inner shadow is pretty useful in that. So and when I talk about like these logos, it could be like a party logo, like a seal or like some a logo representing a party, military branch, whatever, anything that's like this. So you want to be using inner shadow. I'm gonna get to that later. Yeah, this asset's pretty much done. Could use sharpen. Use smart sharpen maybe. Maybe do that. Makes it stand out a little more. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent asset, so we can save that. I mean, I already have an asset like that, but I may actually, I'll once this video is over, I'll put this on I have a GFX database. I actually forgot I even had it. Some people DM me on Discord about if they could use it, but yeah, that thing is like anyone can use it, so don't worry about like uh, giving credit or whatever. I don't really care about that. But yeah. Anyways, hide that. Next we're gonna do this logo. I like making these probably the most, because they're really the easiest to make. They usually turn out looking pretty good as well. Um, so anyways, shrink this down, center it. Right, there we go. Do an outer glow. Um, yeah, actually, usually, yeah. By the way, with this, I haven't mentioned, you basically want to be using multiply for this. I don't actually, does it really matter? I'm actually not sure. Pretty sure everyone is like exactly the same. Yeah. Um, use drop shadow. You know, this one's kind of, I don't know, might need extra shadow. I feel like it might need extra shadows. Maybe also another thing, you could also just make things lighter. I feel like this is a little too dark. That's better. Um, so anyways, here I want to use and also another thing on this is bevel and emboss is pretty useful in these ones too. Um, so there, that's looking pretty good already. Now we want the gradient overlay. This is also pretty useful in here. Um, you can put on like any angle. I usually do like a 90-degree angle. Though I do sometimes shift it like 130 or 45 or so. Sometimes like maybe that or something. Shift it to the right a little, like that. You know, looks pretty good. Oh yeah, and also the thing is with the gradient overlay, you can use different. They have like all these other different ones. You can actually you can make your own. Like, see, this one here is based off the colors I have here, so they auto generate that for you. So if you ever want to use like a custom gradient, you can do a gradient overlay. You can do that. So next, inner glow, pretty useful here. Not full opacity, but something like this. See, it actually makes a huge difference on this. It just makes it like significantly better. I have a couple other. There's another one I have. This one. Or actually, no, that's an old one. There's which one is it? I don't know which. There's one I have. I have to find it. Where is it? Oh wait, actually, I think I have. Yeah, this one. This one I used, and this is just sealed for President of the United States. Um, I used a great. You can see here I use a gradient overlay on this one. Um, and I also use inner shadow on this. It just makes a huge difference. This one, not the biggest, but it doesn't make the biggest difference on this one, but you know, looks much better. Like, see, this is without it. With it, looks much better. There's also inner shadow. Sometimes I like to use both inner shadow and inner glow. They're sort of basically inner shadow, inner glow, or basically like drop shadow and outer glow. But they only apply to the inside of the image. Um, Usually I use inner shadow for like other things, like if I'm making like a loading screen or something, because I actually might make a video about that one day. Though it depends on what kind of style loading screen you want. But I'll make like I have like my own like loading screens I sort of like to make that have like a wood background. You've probably seen some of them before on like if you go on like r/Hoi4 modding or something on Reddit, you'll see loading screens like that. But yeah, I could make a if you guys wanted a video about that, I could make it. Haven't made one of those in a while, but it's not really the hardest thing to do. So, oh yeah, and also another thing with stroke. This is another one. Um, Stroke. I like almost never use for assets. It just like you can see here, just like doesn't like it's kind of like it's kind of like rough around the edges, you know, I like maybe you could like lower the opacity, might make it look a little better, but like that maybe, but I don't always like using it, but here it actually looks okay. So for lower opacity, so yeah, you could use stroke occasionally. So you could try to experiment around. I don't really use it that much. I use it more for like I make my own graphics or whatever, just like not for Hoi4 mine, just like just for fun. I use stroke sometimes. But I usually don't really use stroke for asset making. But yeah, this is actually looking pretty good. So yeah, actually I don't use like the shadow highlights thing or whatever. I don't really use anything else besides that. Sometimes maybe sharpen, but yeah, it actually messes it up here like that. See, but yeah, this is actually looking pretty solid. So save that. I'll post all these on the GitHub thing. So there's actually an extra load here for some reason. Yeah, alright, here we go. Next is a flag asset. This is probably the easiest one to make. I believe on the database I provided some like flag things. I've made my own flag uh templates before. There's only this one. I made a flag on pole. I don't use that one that often. I usually just use the vanilla ones are this one's also pretty good. I forgot where I got this from. But it's also a pretty good one. I believe, oh yeah, this one, the flag sideways one, is also pretty good. I've done this before, the flag with pennant one. Um, it's okay. Works sometimes on focuses, but usually I just use either like this one. Um, Also, yeah, sometimes the one I made I use. I don't like it that much though, but I believe that's also. I think this one is on my database, I believe. So you guys could use it if you want. I've made a couple decent ones on it, but for not these ones. This one. There's a couple other ones. Oh yeah, this one too. Um, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna do the big gray flag. This one, you want to be using, I think I covered this in another video, recently, but I'll just do it again here. Basically here, it really usually depends on the flag. So, here, this one, the Prussian flag here is pretty, simple, not too complicated, just, two colors and then a symbol. So, we'll just copy that, put it on there eventually. There we go. Alright, so here, like, I like drawing the flags on there. Usually looks the best. I used to just like copy and paste like the flag over it. It work with like simple flags, like a simple like a two color Polish flag, just the white and red, or maybe a French flag, blue, white, and red. But doesn't work with like more complex flags like for example, like the UK flag doesn't always work properly. Also the US flag sometimes just doesn't like lay out properly. A couple other ones too. Like think of like flags that have like more complex designs. Also like flags that have like intricate coat of arms or whatever. Like you're not gonna be able to draw that sometimes, so you'll have to copy and paste that. Um, so which is actually well, I'm gonna do that here. There we go. So we're just copying. Actually, we're gonna go back. Usually just remove like the background or whatever. Oops. Crap. There we go. If there's like, see, there's like some color inside. Like it doesn't matter. As long as it's not a different color, of course. There we go. Oh, shortcut I use there by the way was Control T, just Control Transform. Actually, I think the black. I think there's too much black on this. Like that. There we go. Again, like this is like probably the easiest one. So, um, kind of boring too, though. Sometimes you gotta have patience with stuff like this. Like, especially when you're making icons or whatever, you just gotta have patience for everything else. And, no, what the hell? That's weird. Okay, here we go. Let me rotate it a little. Alright, then you want to merge those two layers together and do, usually overlay works. Actually, overlay is kind of too sharp, and this is like too late, so that could work. Um, Overlay, I don't like how this one works. This one's kind of bad, but you kind of get the idea. I don't want to like spend too much time on this because I've covered it in another video. So yeah, I'll put that in the database too. Next, we're almost done. Next, we're just gonna do like a person. This is just using black and white photograph. Um, Portraits is gonna be different. Because you can make a black and white version. Like some focus icons in game have like black, like for example, like that Mussolini icon. Like with the high contrast and shadows and everything. That's an example of like a black and white. But there's like different. There's colored ones too. So, alright, we're gonna do Huey Long here. Um, Everyone knows who Huey Long is from, Kaiserreich or whatever, or Kaiser Redux. Well, originally from Kaiserreich. Um, you know, Pretty fascinating guy. Like if you like to read about history or whatever, which I'm assuming pretty much most people who watch this channel do. At least to some extent. Actually, this image is humongous. I should probably decrease the size. It's kind of lagging. Shit. Yeah, I should probably fix it. We're not gonna like do. We're just gonna like do this part. We're not gonna do like his arms or whatever. We're just gonna cut out the background actually. Sometimes that's usually the easier way to go. Because usually on with the quick select tool I'm using, usually Photoshop, what I've experienced at least is that the AI usually detects like the background before Like sometimes if you hover over like a part of like what actually happened before. When I was hovering over near his hair, it actually went into the background a little. So usually cut out the background. Usually the way to go. So I actually missed a part. Looks kind of weird. I've actually made an ass with this. Actually, no, well, not this image. Sorry, it was another picture of Huey Long, and I had I had a similar problem with the boards acting weird. All right, sorry there, I'm back. Um, yeah. Anyways, um, again, we're just cutting out the background. So yeah, I had a problem with that other asset. Um, yeah, usually you gotta be usually you want to get the right frame for assets. Like sometimes you might like, especially like for example for this asset, like if I did like all like his arms waving or whatever, then the asset probably would have looked much worse. And I could do it experiment. I've done it multiple times, um, where I've done like an asset, and there's like certain parts I could include, and it usually messes up the way the asset ends up looking. Because just remember, like like sometimes these are pretty big images you're getting, so you want to only get like a certain amount of the image so it looks good in such a small size. Right, anyways. Um, going to put here. This one is pretty easy. Person is not difficult. So you got Huey Long. Center this. Like actually, yeah, if I did his arms or whatever, like his arms would be like sticking out probably around here, and I'd have to shrink it down. They'd just be too small. But anyways, do sharpen, I guess. Or actually, we can do I want to do highlights, baby. Also another thing another filter I've discovered is camera raw filter. This is something I discovered for portraits just today, actually. Um, yeah, and I've actually, which reminds me, I might actually make a tutorial about Kaiser style portraits, which is I like those probably the most. I don't like vanilla style really. I think vanilla style is just like especially like for mods or whatever. Like I honestly like I just find it kind of ridiculous like how people are like always copying like a lot of mods use like vanilla style portraits, and it just takes too much time, and like really at the end of the day they're not really worth it. So they take, and only like a certain amount of people know how to make them like really good. And they just take time, like in general. Like even the people who know how to do it well, like it just takes too long. So like it's usually not really worth it at the end of the day. So, and I don't know like why someone would want to be like trying to copy vanilla anyways. Honestly, I feel like Moss should be making it, that's like it's a modification, should be changing the game in a way, but like people are like preserving like the portrait style or whatever, and even like also like focus icons. Like I don't make vanilla style. I make my own style kind of icons. I don't try to copy vanilla. And I think it's just better that way, instead of just copying. Like try to like develop stuff your own way. Alright, but anyways, usually you want to, again, like, it's the same, like, steps for this. I just use inner shadow, or inner glow. Um, usually you see it more prevalent around, like, his face. Yeah, that's actually good. Another thing here, I'm gonna get to, like, the portrait or whatever, but sometimes here you want to, like, if you maybe, like, put shadows or whatever, you use, like, the burn tool or whatever. Um, wrong layer. There we go. Use the burn to like on his face. Actually, like not like probably not. That's probably too long past. Like the more like distinguishing marks like around his nose and chin. Um, like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. His ears, hair. Could also always increase the contrast if you want. Um, here, probably. This actually probably looks better, honestly. You don't want like the contrast too, because if you put it like this high, like it's just, I don't know, I don't really like it that much. Yeah, like that, that's probably better. Alright, so that's the Huey Long asset. Again, post that on the database. Last one, is the portrait. This is a Stepan Bandera, Ukrainian, like bit used in Nazi, but used like he was a Ukrainian national ultra nationalist. Um, he's best known for his orchestrated genocide of Polish people living in eastern Galicia during World War II. Um, he was like probably yeah probably the most one of the most extreme Ukrainian like political figures like really in all of history. I'd say like extremely radical. Basically believed that Ukraine only like within Ukraine only Ukraine people should be like Ukrainian people should be living there. Like it's a very like narrow group of people, of course. Um, we're gonna do a black and white example for this. First, actually no, actually we'll do colored first. And also with all these like assets you can use them. I have on the database also have a bunch of frames online. You can probably there's other like GFX databases you can find some decent frames. So I think there's a GitLab that has some pretty good stuff. I forgot who made it. Um anyways, same rundown here. Sometimes you can play with the contrast on like on these but I usually don't mess with like with the portrait like colored portraits. Um Here we can use a gradient overlay. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Can use sharpen. That might actually be a little too much. That's good. So yeah, that's Stepan Bender. That's a color asset. Then we'll do a black and white one. Oh yeah, and by the way, now we're going to be getting to Boże Chose, which is mine from this portrait. Alfred Rosenberg made this today. It's actually probably one of the probably one of the best portraits he's ever made. Honestly, I actually really like this portrait. Um, but for this, sometimes not sure. I don't. Sometimes that doesn't always work. This I like to turn the black and white assets like if we're like doing like a there's like a Mussolini asset from the base game. It's like using like the assassinate Mussolini things focuses from was it Waking the Tiger, I believe that was from. Um yeah, anyways. Um you wanna make it like look like that, you gotta like turn the contrast up like I'm talking like maybe 60, 80. Brightness decrease just a little. Um Here can use usually like this black and white stuff usually looks better for vanilla portraits. Just because of like the way the skin is just like the way the skin is looks usually turns out better these kind of things, but you could do it on any sort of portrait, or you can even do even on like a regular picture. You could actually do it. Just take more editing, obviously. Here, I want to like blur a little. Smudge this. Blur. Basically, want to make the darker colors stand out more, and the lighter colors stand out more. Let's do it here as well. Yeah, these are probably these honestly probably look the best um out of like these like honestly for like all these like the people assets like assets of people are usually probably my favorite ones are the black and white portrait ones. um they just stand out more, I guess they just look better to me, I guess. Also want to do the white part. So the white part here is his forehead. Focus on. Focus. It's like no, I meant to say focus on. Okay. This probably a little too high. Of course, you can always increase the. Actually, might have to increase the contrast here. Actually, probably just want to do it only on his face. Should probably do this. Yeah. Oops. Actually, what does that look? Nah. Yeah, that looks pretty dark, but I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Use the burn tool. Could also like do one on his nose too, actually. Probably a little too high there. Always, gotta like one thing also with making these, you gotta like just have perspective on stuff like this. Like especially like if you're making stuff and like you've been doing this like for like all day long, sometimes just step away from it, take a break. Then you come back to it and you sort of have like a new understanding of it. Um, that's happened to me a lot, and it's helped a lot, obviously. So if you ever feel like frustrated or whatever with how something's turning out, just take a break. Um, you know, rest on it. Don't really think about it. Do some stuff for life, and then come back, and then make it better. Yeah, this is actually pretty decent. Yeah, you can see. You could also like, honestly, I could probably maybe increase a little more. I'm not gonna be able to make it look exact like vanilla. Not like I even want to, anyways. Um, but yeah, something like that's honestly pretty good. So, uh, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, actually. So, yeah, we're gonna. I don't know how long this video is exactly, but anyways, now I'm gonna get to really the big thing here. I'm looking to get some people to join my mod server Bożyczos Polska. I've had for a while now, but I'm getting back to working on it again. And I'm hoping to get more people to work on it. So maybe if you want to like learn more just about modding or whatever, or you think you could be useful, um, maybe want to see like what's going on with the mod, maybe even how to join the dev team. You can join the Discord server, and I'll probably invite in the link down below. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a good day, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So farewell.